23-year-old with 33 wins as a pro, 1 no contest, 19 knockouts.
Camacho came under heavy fire in July of last year, fighting in New York against Jesse James Leija. Round number 1, Leija, the former champion, took the action right to Camacho and stunned him with a right hand. In fact, Leija would press the action throughout the course of this fight. Leija was cut early. He kept on fighting. Round number 3, Camacho answered back with a good left hand. In round number 5, a clash of heads. And this is where the controversy would start. Camacho would suffer a nick over the right eye. The doctors took a look at it. They felt he could go on. Camacho said it was blurry. He could not see. So what happened? They would go to the judges' scorecards. Even though by most accounts Leija was winning this fight, home cooking prevailed, and Camacho was ahead on the judges' scorecards, and he would get the decision despite the protests of Jesse James Leija. Leija's camp was not through with this one. They filed a protest with the state of New York. The fight was overturned to a no contest. Camacho was supposed to fight Leija in October in San Antonio, backed out of that fight. Instead, in November, he took on a much lesser opponent, Eric Jakubowski. Jakubowski took this fight on 7 days' notice. Easy fight for Camacho, padding the record, improving his record with another knockout victory. He finished this one in the 4th round, but the Leija controversy continued to linger. Tonight he gets Omar Weis. This is a tough guy from Argentina, 29 years of age, 33 3-3, 16 knockouts. His last 5 fights, well, he hasn't won in almost 2 years, but there's a story behind the story in these last 5. We saw him on Friday Night Fights on June the 16th in California in the backyard of Antonio Diaz. Diaz's own corner had him losing 5 or 6 of the first 7 rounds. Omar Weis was accurate. Omar Weis was effective. Omar Weis took the fight to Antonio Diaz. Diaz would have his moments as this fight wore on. Very close fight, but home cooking again, and Diaz would win an easy unanimous decision victory. Omar Weis got a tough break in that one. Then he went to Connecticut here on Friday Night Fights against Ray Oliveira. Now, Oliveira is known as a punching machine, but Omar Weis went into Oliveira's backyard, and according to the CompuBox numbers, he actually threw more punches than Oliveira. This was a very close fight. Weis was busier, more accurate, but this one was ruled a draw. He had another draw after that, but tonight a big showdown for Omar Weis and Hector Camacho Jr. Very important fight. Omar Weis is in the ring and ready to roll. He's 29 years of age from Buenos Aires. 33 wins as a pro, 16 knockouts, coming off a draw against Alejandro Jimenez. Hector Camacho Jr. styles himself as a showman, although he says, "I'm nothing like my father. Keep my nose clean. I'm a family man, but I realize I have to entertain people." Well, he entertained everybody involved with his promotion yesterday because of weight issues. Let's run you through all the problems yesterday. The contract for the fight was 143 pounds. At the weigh-in, Weis was 141, Camacho 147. Weis camp said Camacho had to lose 2 pounds. They wanted an extra $10,000 on top of his $15,000 purse. Camacho Jr. went to the gym to lose weight. Voila! Came back even 4 pounds heavier, 151 pounds. Weis said, "Hey, I want $15,000 on top of my $15,000 purse." Promoter Jeff Reed, who has taken over this from America Presents, said there'll be no more weigh-ins. Camacho made 147. He's 151. We'll give you 10 grand. Weis says, "I'll take 12,500. So, Teddy, a couple of issues here. Unfortunately, boxing had to go to the back rooms again. This thing was contracted for 143. They go to the back rooms. Weis gets double his purse. Camacho gets the fight at 151 pounds. It's a lack of professionalism by Camacho to come in this much overweight and then not lose the 2 pounds.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But more importantly, let's take it away from Camacho. I'm always talking about a national commission. There should be some accountability. There should be some demand of standard. There should be somebody in charge that says, "Hey, you can't do that. There will be a penalty to pay if you do that." There was none of that. Look, my son plays Pee-wee football. They play in a special division. You have to make weight. If the kid doesn't make weight, he doesn't play. Why does professional boxing allow this? Please.
And here's how ludicrous the whole thing is. Camacho's promotional people told Weis, "You don't want the fight, we're taking you out. We'll bring in another replacement." So they are just enabling Camacho to not have to make the weight. And Omar Weis gets to double his purse.
In other words, you don't do your job, you get rewarded. No accountability. That's the way we're going here. I mean, listen, we are in the home state of one of the few politicians in this country who has integrity. Senator John McCain. John McCain, you're a good man. You like boxing. Please, please help us. Step up and get us a national commission where we won't have weak commissions like this that allow boxing to go down to the dumps and have no standards. Please help us.
And a final thought, what kind of message does this say about Camacho coming off that controversy with Leija, then refusing the rematch, and now coming in well overweight? Time for the strategy of this fight as we take you inside Atlas's world. Let's start with Hector Camacho Jr.
Well, for Hector Camacho to stay undefeated, first of all, he's going to have to snap that jab out. Not pour with it, because he'll get counted. He'll give up his speed if he pours. Also, change your pattern. Don't always go in and out one way. Come in on the sides. Don't be predictable. And Weis throws a slow jab. Throw that right hook over it, and every once in a while, don't depend on counters. Set up leads. Also, for Weis, he's got to go to the body. No better way to take the speed away from Camacho than to bang that body. Also, feint Camacho. Make a move sooner than he wants to. Then you can time him. Camacho's tricky. Also, get Camacho into exchanges. Get him to punch with you. He's very fast. Don't let him set the tempo. If you can get him to punch with you, you can find him, you can hit him.
Omar Weis has only been stopped once in his career as a professional, 141 pounds. He's giving away close to 10 pounds, but he almost doubled his purse. He was scheduled to make $15,000. You had the 12.5 on top of that, and he's walking out of here with $25,500 to fight Hector Camacho Jr. You know, one of the alibis that the Camacho people were saying was that his promotional people never make him have to really make the weight in these non-title fights. Well, again, people enabling him. He is not being made accountable. Not that he's a bad kid or anything. He's a married man. He has a young daughter. Doesn't get into trouble outside of the ring or anything like that. But if you want to be considered a professional and respected, you have to act professional as well. Arizona rules will be used for tonight's main event. And they are as follows. You got to look at referee Bobby Ferrara. 3 knockdown rule in effect. No standing 8 count. Only the referee can stop it. Fighter can be saved with the bell in the final round only. Accidental foul, though, go to the scorecards after 3 rounds are complete. So Hector Camacho Jr. will take on Omar Weis. You followed Friday Night Fights. You know that Omar Weis doesn't mess around. He's not in awe of being in someone's hometown or someone's home country. He goes about his business.
But there's no doubt here that the faster man is the southpaw, Hector Camacho Jr. But there are ways to negate speed. There are ways to negate all kinds of physical God-given advantages. And Weis needs to find that way. Timing is one way. He can time Camacho, not getting into a shootout, not into a speed contest, but just time Camacho as he's throwing. He can be successful.
Well, just like James Leija did. I mean, I think James would probably admit that at this point in his career, he's not faster than Camacho, but he timed him. And even though when they went to those scorecards or whatever, Camacho was ruled the first winner. You saw the fight. I saw the fight. I mean, Leija was winning the fight.
Yes, he was. I thought that Leija won the first 2 rounds, hurt Camacho. Then Camacho, to his credit, came back in the second 2 rounds. I thought he evened it up. But then in the 5th round, Leija was winning the round and was pulling himself ahead in the fight. And then the cut occurred. And Camacho did not handle that well. Although Camacho did handle being hurt by punches the first 2 rounds better than he handled the cut. Sometimes a young fighter, undefeated fighter who's never been in certain areas, never tested in certain areas, never cut before, will not react well. Again, you can see Weis doesn't just want to walk into fast punches. He's trying to wait for the right spot. Trying to get Camacho to lead to him. Then he knows Camacho is there. Then he can put his glove on something. and not leave himself susceptible. One of the greatest assets of Camacho is not just leading. It's when he makes you miss, makes you get out of position, makes you cooperate with him. Then he counters. Weis does not want to cooperate with Camacho. Weis does not want to do some of Camacho's work for him. Does not want to leave himself wide open. That's why you're going to see a little chess here. It's not that Weis is tentative. It's just that Weis understands when he throws, he doesn't want to leave himself vulnerable. He understands he must throw at the right time.
Feeling out process in round one. Not a lot of clean punches landed from either guy.
Here's a lesson for